British DJs, an American voiceover. It's the Harley and Josh Show.
Hello! Oh, we surprised you there. We didn't we, Harley?
No, yeah, we're very surprising and stuff.
We're surprising people.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah,
It's Christmas Day.
It is Christmas Day.
Although
technically,
podcasts don't work in a way that you listen to them right as they come out. I
mean, so we're actually we recorded this on Christmas Day, then edited it, so it took until about sort of Wednesday, the time of December, and then went back in time, uploaded it, and then it's now available on Christmas Day. It's pretty mental that we can travel time. We can travel time.
Yeah, that's the term.
Yeah, because we don't want to trademark it.
No, has someone tried? Someone trademarked travel time?
I don't think they have. Maybe they've because time travel's just it's passé now. People have done it.
Yeah.
But travel time just sounds like Google Maps, doesn't it?
Yeah. Travel time
is
like FaceTime,
hours.
But in the future or past. You choose.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should pitch it for a movie.
There we go.
Maybe Miramax. Oh wait, no.
Oh.
Maybe Weinstein coming. No. Oh god. Yeah.
Maybe Fox.
We'll see. Disney will have it.
Yeah. They do everything now.
Disney wouldn't want anything to do with us.
Nah.
They want anything R-rated.
They're too big for us.
No.
Although apparently they're going to keep the new Deadpool like R-rated.
Yeah. So that'd be. I guess they've got no choice really. Otherwise.
Yeah, you can't not. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody would just be burning down the Magic Kingdom.
It would just be a 4-minute film.
Yeah, there's no Deadpool. Molotov cocktail to the Magical Kingdom. Yeah. So right, special episode today, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a little interview section with ourselves.
Yes.
And we don't know the questions that we're going to be asking. No. So this is technically Secret Santa, Harley and Josh
see what you did
edition.
There.
Yeah.
Secret Santosh show.
The Sacred Santa.
Secret Santali and Josh show.
There we go.
There we go. We found it.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We never do.
We should. I think we should say that we're both very unwell today.
Yeah. Can you hear it? Can you hear just how I'm currently. I am currently holding a Lemsip and a Rick and Morty mug, and Harley has tissues surrounding him.
What does my mug say?
Citwins.
Bench coma holiday.
Beach coma, not bench coma. Bench coma sounds like it's like a substitute for a game who just passed out.
I thought I said beach coma, and it does look like an N. As you can see, as I'm pointing at the microphone, you can see that.
That's not how microphones work, Cotton.
You can hear that it says bench coma.
No, that was from a car show we did up in sort of Skegness kind of way.
Was that the Citroen show?
One? Yeah, so they gave us a mug.
I listen.
Thank you, Robert.
We were saying before we started how we have just no recollection of what either of us say ever.
I know. Yeah, I mean, what's the general point of us talking to each other? It's not. We're talking to people that are listening. Really,
we're just cueing each other to tell the world.
Yeah, we have brain sieves. Okay, right. So I'm going to kick off as it's the Harley and Josh show. Harley has to come first.
Cool. Can you turn your gain down a little bit?
Yes, buddy. So let's.
Oh no, your one.
Think
of my one's fine.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Lovely. Good. You damn fine. So I would like to ask you some questions, Harley, and get your 2 cents.
Okay. I think we need like a mastermind style intro.
Dung dung. Oh wait, that's Law and Order.
How it goes. In my mind, I'm just thinking of the Harley and Josh show intro.
Harley. That's it. There we go. Good.
There we go.
Okay. So there's the deal. Right. So I want our big question to start off with.
Big question.
Who, for you, is the most exciting local musician to watch this year? I mean, this year is in 2018. To sort of watch them.
People, that's a very good question because my finger's really not on the pulse. Are you talking original music or just general live shows?
Well, we kind of talk mostly original music on the show, don't we? So I'm going to say original.
Okay, cool. From what I've seen this year, I haven't seen a great deal of original music. Mm-hmm. However, I've really enjoyed watching Hot Tramp.
Nice.
That was a band that I knew what they did. They exactly what they said on the tin is what they are. You know, if you want to know what Hot Tramp are like, you go on their Facebook because you know exactly what they're like. They're putting it all out there. The characters there, but their live show at Ipswich Music Day was just incredible.
Yeah,
and that really sort of
it was one of the top 10 for this year.
It was a lovely surprise. I knew they were good, but I didn't realise they were that good.
Yeah.
And they've got a great sort of family of musicians around them, yourself being one of them, Giles King, Hannah Hinchliff. They're very inclusive to sort of have other artists be part of their musical family.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
So, in terms of cover bands, I would say Motherfunker are one to look out for.
Definitely.
They I don't know when they started up. Earlier, obviously this year. I'm assuming sort of midsummer. Maybe.
Yeah, when I did the logo for them, I believe it was in July.
Yeah,
but they had been rehearsing before that, obviously,
yeah.
because it's just they sort of got themselves together before they started gigging. So yeah, I mean, you know, for a short amount of time. The good thing about it is that the Vanya is good at being out and about and talking to people, and that was one of the things that I needed to do from the beginning, was just get out and talking to people. Anyway, so I think you're right.
That's a good point to make for anyone looking to sort of start their own band and whatever. Make yourself part of the musical community. Say the more social events you're able to get to talk to people and become part of their musical world.
Because I mean, the question is, who's the most exciting local musician to watch, and how are people going to be excited about you if they don't know who you are? Not just what you do, but it's kind of who you are. That's what people are buying into so much more these days, is personality.
And I think it certainly helps as well. The more you're in the circuit of places to be, the more you go to the Swan to be sociable, the more at home you're going to be on stage at the Swan, and stuff like that. You know, the more familiar you are with strangers, the more familiar strangers become.
Yeah, which isn't good for children. Don't children, like, if you're familiar with strangers, well, technically they're not strangers, but so you're fine. Go and walk off with this familiar stranger.
That's my lesson.
I really hope no children listen to this podcast.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes, move on
briefly before we get shut down.
Okay, so this is before we get a beep. Please stand by for less just bad people. What is the number 2? This is the second question here.
Right.
What is second questioning? What is the most important thing to you about being a pro musician?
I think in terms of what is the most important thing to do, or the most, I'm just questioning everything.
The most important thing to do,
I think it's just to do. It's as much of a cop-out answer that is. But like, to be able to, I mean, I've had loads of bands or loads of projects that I've thought in my head and just done nothing with. And I still do it to this day. I've gone, I'd love to do a space band, that does all space theme tunes and those kind of shows. And often
I've actually had the Star Trek Voyager theme tune stuck in my head for like a week. So I wish you could just do all those.
Well, to be honest, we did do a lot of those stuff with Space Rocks.
What was the one with Patrick Stewart in as well? That was
Next Generation.
Next Generation. You could do it. Yeah, could you do that? Could you please do that?
We did a lot of stuff like that with Space Rocks, because the idea was that we were called Space Rocks, and we were like, let's make a themed show with it.
Because space rocks.
Exactly. So we started with Thunderbirds. We did Star Trek. We did Star Wars. We did all of the themes in Star Wars.
You could be like an installation in the Science Museum.
Exactly.
I mean, if you could just say that, just like, hey kids, space rock. Now listen to Star Trek.
It didn't work. It was a lot of adults going, I know this one, and kids going, I don't get it. But the adults weren't going to be getting up and dancing, and
the Science Museum,
it was great to listen to, but it weren't good to dance to, and we were trying to be a sort of a party band, so it didn't work in the way that we wanted it to.
Yeah, that is difficult.
But anyway, I've had loads of other band ideas or projects that I wanted to do that just haven't happened for various reasons. So doing is more important. It's the
Yes.
most important thing. Like, I don't know if you've had the same thing where you've had loads of really great ideas and just not
so
done
many.
anything. But the bands for me that have been successful, like Chart Attack, that has kind of, I mean, I've got other successful bands that I've kind of joined onto. But the fact that we've gone, right, let's just do it.
This has been your baby.
And that's what, you know, it's great to have a good idea, but if you don't take it out of your head and pass it on to someone else, or to, you know, get other people involved and make it a thing, it's not going to happen. And yeah, I've had loads of projects that I consider have failed, but I've done them, tried them, and gone, well, that doesn't work, and I move on.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
you don't want them to be a failure, even if you just didn't have any kind of market research for them at all.
No.
You're just sort of like, they failed because they just never even got started, never got going.
You know.
Which is kind of, I've had that with a bunch of ideas. I agree with you there. Just get stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Chart Attack was born out of the fact that doing gigs and weddings and stuff, and no one's up and dancing, and then the DJ starts and the band start dancing.
Yeah, of course.
And the band and the people start dancing because
they get off the stage and they just start.
Yeah, and the people who are sort of playing those gigs, the sort of people who want to dance, either we're not playing the right kind of music or not playing in the right style. So this kind of that's what's kind of birthed from it, and I'm really hopeful for it.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. That's it, and it's having that positive outlook, which happens because a lot of the time you can have an excited outlook when you first start a band. You can be sitting there going, "Oh, this is just going to be a thing, and it's going to be perfect, and I can't see any other thing happening.
Yeah.
Nothing bad can happen to this band or this beautiful idea that I've got." But then, that's different to having a positive outlook. A positive outlook is just sitting there, like, you know, thinking, okay, so this is having that SWOT analysis thing, you know, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about the idea is just like, okay, what strengths did it have, what weaknesses did it have, and opportunities and threats did it have.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, if you're still positive, then, you know, then it's definitely a good idea.
And I have to say, Nikki, my girlfriend's very good at
Grounding you.
Yeah, like I remember, like, oh yeah, when I first started up with Chart Attack, and oh, it's gonna be really good. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that. And Nick's like, yep, you haven't had a rehearsal yet. Just calm it down, because I don't want you to be in the same. Because at the time when we were having this conversation, I was in a position where my bands were going nowhere.
Right, yeah.
It was the end of Blueprint. I was leaving Space Rocks, and the outcome seemed quite blank.
Blake. Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, put the work in, be hopeful for it, but don't sit back, expect for it all to happen, and then complain that the band's going nowhere in a year's time if you haven't done anything with it. So
I love that. Don't come moaning to me when this all goes tits up.
Pretty much, yeah. But, you know, she's very supportive and very helpful in the fact that she's helped me be the right kind of positive, rather than, like you say, just the excited for something that you haven't actually made plans for.
Because I've fallen victim to that, you know, that was just you sit there and go, this is definitely going to work, there's no doubt in my mind, but then there's no evidence to back that up yet. There's nothing, you don't have any, like what you were saying about Space Rocks and the theme tune stuff. You know, you get the idea, it's exciting, and then you go like, yeah, we're going to do it, and it's going to work, and then it doesn't work. And you're just like, oh man, like it feels worse when it doesn't work. Once you have been really excited beforehand about it, isn't it? Because you just,
totally.
Oh man, I was right. I was right. I know I was right, but it turned out to be wrong.
Exactly. So yeah, no.
Yeah. So that is what the most important thing about being a pro musician is.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
There we go.
Strike me down. Okay, right. So we'll come back on Star Wars again. What's wrong? Right. Number three question. What's your favourite musical style to play live?
Ooh.
So it can be genre.
That's a hard one to say, because when I'm playing live, I feel my musical tastes are very different to when I'm not playing.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I love listening to sort of the prog music, that kind of thing. And I love playing those kind of technical bits. I am, however, aware that they're not necessarily what people like listening to, or some crowds do or don't.
Yeah.
But I love being a little bit self-indulgent.
That is a kind of a problem, isn't it, that we have as musicians? It says like, you want to be out there playing Rush and Tool and just go and Dream Theater on it, but like, I don't know, if that music was, the kind of stuff that people wanted to hear, that would be in the charts, and it wouldn't be such a fringe thing.
That's it.
That people absolutely love. Prog music has always kind of been a bit of a fringe thing. There's only really been a couple bands that have really, broken the glass ceiling with that.
That's it. There are countries of where prog music is part of the charts. I've heard apparently places like Mexico.
Nice.
They're regularly playing Opeth and like
that's great.
Porcupine Tree on the radio because they don't have a pop industry.
Yeah.
Like we in the UK have a pop industry of music where we have a machine,
right,
air quotes,
that
pumps out music for the masses. That's and that's what people consume because it's the simplest form, and without being jaded about it, it's kind of what it is.
Do you think it's like there's probably some correlation there just between so countries that have plenty, like America and the UK and Germany and places like this, that will have a mainstream pop audience because there's plenty and there's just lots of things to sing about. But where there's countries where there is oppression, there's difficulty, and there's just sort of looked down on by these countries that have plenty. Places like Poland or Mexico, they've got a much more the music scene just has much more struggle involved in it. It's got such more like a lot of musicians that I've met from Poland do a lot of like thrash metal and dubstep, and it's actually very, very popular. And there's huge festivals over there that will be dedicated to just that, and they'll be the big thing. Like you say, in Mexico, there's prog on the radio. But maybe that's a thing.
I think when it I know at least from the Mexico side of things, it's more of the fact that there's no industry telling people what to listen to, so that it's basically a free radio. And then the songs that are popular are genuinely popular. It's a lot more of a meritocracy.
Yeah.
Is that
meritocracy sounds good.
Yeah, let's go with that. Meritocracy chart system. I don't know if there's a chart as such, but because a song gets played on the radio, if it's good, it gets played lots. If it's not, it doesn't. Whereas in the UK, there's a lot of paid listens, and it's not as, it's more of a case of who you know rather than how good it is.
Payola was outlawed a long time ago. It's the thing. So paying for radio play directly is illegal. However, it's different when said radio station is funded by somebody like Sony BMG, or Universal or something like that. So they're just going to be getting the top picks for what's going to get the radio play getting sent to them all the time. So it's quite it's payola, but it's just on a we outlaw
with added steps.
Yeah, exactly. There's more bureaucracy to it. It's payola's been outlawed, but so because of that, then a bigger problem arises, where people say, "Oh, I can't pay for the radio for the song, so I'll just buy the radio station."
And I think so I think that's a thing. And although I may be completely wrong, that's my understanding of the way I see it of how that kind of works. But
and it's also like the ad companies will want more music to fit alongside their adverts, so they'll sort of request certain things like this, which is again, so we didn't really get around to what you're sort of
I like prog music.
You like to play
playing
prog music
technical
live
stuff, but like in the same way, there are songs that I would not listen to in 100 years.
So Shattered Skies.
Shattered Skies,
has been one of your favourite bands to play with live this year.
100%, They're really good fun. Really, I mean, they pushed my abilities to my limits. But I liked the challenge, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, also like the original Mohawk stuff I used to play.
Yeah,
that was great fun. And I love that kind of take on it. That said, like I say, there are songs that I wouldn't listen to or play at home in a million years.
I apologise.
But I love playing them at gigs. I do like Queen. I'm not a massive fan of some of their stuff. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Not
Yeah.
my favourite song, but that bass line's so fun to play.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'll always enjoy gigging with that.
And when I get into the van with you, I mean, when I'm invited in, I'm not just waiting in the back seat. Most of the time you will be listening to some Porcupine Tree.
Yeah.
So it reflects your listening habits.
That's it,
there.
yeah.
I think that's quite a nice thing to have as a musician, when you can appreciate how well something's played because you can play it, and because of that fact, you need more of it.
Yeah, I always joke. There was a Steely Dan tribute band.
You are quite a joker.
I am quite the joker. There was a Steely Dan tribute band.
Steamy Dan.
I think it might have been called something like that.
Steamy Ray Vaughan.
But they were playing in Ipswich, and I said, must be really hard to make a successful Steely Dan band, tribute band, because if they're doing a gig on the Friday, they must not get anyone there, because the only people who will really listen to it and appreciate... Oh, I say that sounds really... The only the majority of the people who will listen to it will be out gigging, because they're very much a musician's band.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that must be a hard band to promote. I mean, I'm sure
that we say
musicians.
that though because we listen to it as musicians, and that's the thing. Like,
It's just me being bitter because I'd never get to go to it.
no, exactly. Like, I want to do. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I find that about a lot of bands, because I would think that somebody like Snarky Puppy or Hiatus Coyote would be very much musicians' bands, but they're going out and playing sold out tours and shows. And I reckon if we looked at statistics, 80% of the audience wouldn't be musicians, but they're still appreciating it.
Not every musician's a gigging musician either.
No, it's true.
There's only a small percentage of musicians that decide to make it a career and make it a job.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's like one thing I felt was not promoted enough at college was it's okay to just do music for fun.
Yeah.
And understandable, because when you're at college, you're doing a job to promote when you're at college, you're going to study to get a job. Essentially, that's the bare basics of it. But there are some people who went to college to study music just to further their knowledge of music.
Yeah, there's loads of friends that we don't see gigging anymore, but we still will see videos of them on Facebook popping up, and them just going, "Oh, I've just been fiddling around with this," and it was loads of fun.
Yeah, that's it. And music isn't exclusively an industry; it is an art.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's I'm putting that on a mug, mate.
Cool. We got lots of mugs.
Yeah, that's it. We need to get loads of mugs and get printed Harley and Josh Show mugs. Go to Shopify.com and go to Patreon Podbean .Kickstarter for a new mug. Right, we got 2 more questions left.
Woo!
Question 4. What part of your setup is the most integral to your rig?
Possibly, even though I don't always use it, my pedal board.
Pedal board, yeah?
Yep.
Is this the pedal train you've got?
No, I've got it's a Swan flight case.
Okay,
So it's a fairly basic one.
Right.
I love my amp to bits. What is it? Jens Benz GB750. It's beautiful. My cabs are possibly more important. These are the Montage
Ones, yes.
1x12 cabs. Just because 2 1x12 cabs can do any gig I need them to. Quite often I'll just use the one cab for a smaller gig, but those 2 cabs give me everything I need.
Because it's such a huge thing to do with a bass player's rig, because how often at a gig can you really hear yourself?
With these cabs all the time. But I've done gigs where I've gone, I can't really hear myself. Where I've had other like rear ported cabs that a lot of the sound comes out the back, whereas these are front ported, so all the sound's going in one direction. I've done gigs where the bass is like there's so much low end that I'm having to turn it down so it's not shaking the room.
Yeah.
Then I can't hear the tops and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
So that's quite integral that I get the most consistent sound I can. And I've done gigs with different heads with those cabs, and as long as the cabs are there, I'm happy. And these
that helps. Yeah.
These are made in Ipswich as well.
Yes, because you were telling me when you were doing the bloody Royal gig.
Yeah.
Because you literally just picked 1 or 2 more up.
Yeah, he gave me a guitar cab and 2 bass cabs.
Right, yeah.
And
who is this man?
this is Nigel from Lean Business.
Nigel from Lean Business?
Lean Business. I think it's lean-business.co.uk.
Okay.
Where you can purchase these.
Yeah.
And they're
Are they lightweight?
they're very lightweight. Yeah. They're
And they're hand wired.
They're hand wired.
Yeah.
They are Neo speakers. They've got 2 different speakers in them. One's got I don't know the model, but one's got an 18 sound speaker. The other one's got I believe it's like a Fatal Pro or something like that, dual concentric, so it's got a tweeter built in. Both cabs have a tweeter, but one of them I can turn off.
Right.
So if I'm using the bottom cab on its own, I can have it with a tweeter. If I'm using them both together, I will only want one tweeter because I don't need that much top end.
And they're all passive?
Yes, they're passive, which I use with the Gen Bend head. I originally had an Ampeg head, which was great, but I found I couldn't make it sound not like an Ampeg, whereas this I can make sound like an Ampeg or like a Galleon Kruger if I really want.
Okay.
Because it's got a FET and a valve channel, which is great.
It also helps when you've got a nice array of basses that you can just have a diverse sound.
Exactly.
So you've got modern sounding ones, you've got nice old jazz sounding ones, or vintage sounding basses.
Yeah, and
so these cabs can actually handle all those.
They've got a lot of range, so I can make them sound how I want. And I mean, I'm looking at getting a Trace Elliott Elf head, which is a small lightweight.
You showed me these. Yeah. Actually, they're tiny, aren't they? I would describe the size of these as a size of a translation book that you might take to Germany.
It's about the same. It's probably about the size, I would say, of 3 DVDs stacked on top of each other.
It's good because we're right next to my DVD collection.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking around the room for inspiration.
I mean, it's specifically the size of the Planet Earth box set with the Miles Ahead Miles Davis film on top of that.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's pretty much
smaller than the Star Wars trilogy tin box.
Yes, yeah. Oh, wow, that's great. So I could even transport it in the Star Wars tin.
Well, it's Jay Goodrich from Druids. He carries his elf head in his bass case.
Oh, great!
In his pocket, in his case.
That's great.
And he takes other amps to the gig, but he always has that as a spare.
I think we need to do a cough counter on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
just a sniff and cough counter.
Yeah, no, that's quite an integral. I say my pedal board's probably more important in terms of getting certain sounds. I use a freeze pedal, and I use it for certain oddball songs where I hit a note, press the freeze pedal, and that holds that note out, and then I can play whatever I want on top of that note.
Yeah, because I've had this kind of same problem before actually, because I've got this pedal train Volto power supply.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting one of those.
Good? It's great, unless you're a forgetful arse like I am, that forgets to charge it before a show. So I'll be charging it before the show, and that thing probably takes about just under an hour to charge it fully. And that will last you for about 2.5 hours worth of playing.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But if you haven't had that amount of time, and it does cut out live, and I have had to mid song just be like, guys, solo, and then I will take my lead out of the pedal and just go straight into my amp. You sit there and think you've got a nice amp, you've got a nice guitar, then they'll just sound great together. But once you've been working through a bunch of pedals that are giving you the slapback, the reverb, a little bit of crunch, all these different things, and you go straight into an amp dry, you realise, wow, the pedal board does do a huge amount. It's not just,
That's it.
for show.
When you talk about sort of pedal failure and stuff, I do actually have a pedal that makes my pedal board an effects loop. All my effects sound better going straight into the amp than they do coming out of the effects loop and then back into the amp. So I have a looper, so then if any of my pedals go down, I click a button and it just bypasses the pedal board completely, which is very useful, unless they're running off the same power supply, and then the whole thing goes down.
Busy. All right, cool. One more question. Question 5. What's your favourite band that you don't play in anymore?
That I don't play in anymore?
Yeah, this could be anything, any band you played in that you just had so much fun with and you wish you could do another gig with.
Lucy Sampson.
Really? Yeah, you have said this before. Yeah,
I've said it, and I will say it again. I love playing in Lucy's band. We wrote some great music. She wrote some great music that we played, should I say. It the band, it was great. Me, Ben Diffley, Adam Walden. I really miss playing with Adam.
Yeah.
And I really miss playing with Lucy. It was just really easy, really fun. We do some really friendly, lovely gigs. And I don't think there was a bad experience ever, you know. It was just great fun. And I miss making those kind of sounds. There's very acoustic kind of things. I played fretless a lot of the time. Often I don't get a chance to play fretless so much anymore.
I've not seen you fretless bass.
Possibly not. No, I did.
What fretless you got?
When I was playing with Lucy, I mostly used a fretless Precision.
Yeah. Fender.
No, it was a copy that I ripped the frets out and sort of made fretless myself.
Okay. Was it the same one?
No,
that Murray's got. No. Okay.
No.
It's a different P bass.
Different P bass. But the other one that I'm playing with now, which is a little bit too big, but for the amount I play it, is fine. It's H&S fretless 6-string, which is ridiculous. The neck on it's massive, but I like having the low B. But when you're playing fretless stuff, or when you're playing sort of acoustic stuff, often you've got a guy on acoustic guitar that doesn't want to take a solo, so then I've got an extra top high C string to play solos with. And it's great fun. It's a lacquered top, so I've got round wound strings on it rather than flat wounds. So it has got that kind of Jacko sound to it, and it's awesome. It's great.
Okay.
I have to bring it by and let you have a play with it. It's a monster. The neck on it's like 2 foot wide.
Oh,
so it's
painful.
Yeah.
I remember like the first time I saw a big bass was 6-string that Alex Body was playing.
Oh yeah.
Hokum back in Deben Rock Night. Must have been, 2005, 2004?
Yes, there weren't too many Deben Rock Nights.
No,
they got cancelled fairly quick.
Yeah,
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it might be because we were out drinking on the the school playing
Everyone
field.
was drunk.
Yeah.
Someone broke a window.
Yeah.
It was
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, mad. Absolutely mad. Okay, well, that's Harley's Secret Santa question.
That wasn't too bad, was it?
No, you did great. You did
Cool.
great.
Are
I
you
didn't
still
ask
listening?
you anything about your personal effects.
Well, no. Thank you very much for not mentioning any of my personal effects.
Exactly. Do you like your toes being sucked? Should I do it for you now? I got you.
Don't make me
coughing.
laugh. I'm going to cough.
It's the Harley and Josh show. Yeah.
If you are still listening, please share with your friends. Tell them about it. Share onto Facebook and go, this is really interesting. I love hearing about Harley's toes.
No, that's good.
Just literally, just comment that. Don't comment anymore. So now, should we do some advertising halfway through just to say that
yes, of course.
next week, New Year's Day, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live podcast.
Exactly.
Because the radio station will still be shut. So we're going to kind of do it ourselves, but we're going to be doing a live show on Facebook.
Through the Facebook page, which is just Harley and Josh Show.
Yep.
You can find that by searching Harley and Josh Show on Facebook. You can, if you're listening on Podbean right now, it will be in the links. And if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to find it on the links, or just click subscribe, and you'll be able to find some more details on it.
Awesome, yeah. We'll probably be sharing it amongst our personal pages and other Facebook pages just to tell the world.
I'll be sharing it through Beyonce's page. I've got a.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm an admin on that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I don't think you're at it. You're just jealous.
No, I'm not ready for this jelly. No.
Right. So let's get to the main part, ladies and gentlemen. The big shot. Yeah,
No.
you're the bigger.
No.
Bigger.
No, I'm
ball.
not the bit.
Oh, we need. I think we need a different quiz show theme tune, but. Boom, 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 boom. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, I'm out of breath now. Actually, was slightly.
Purple.
Oh, yeah, that was actually my butt doing that. That was my big butt.
Rightio. I haven't actually put an order into what songs these are, but what songs, what questions? Let's go with stuff like this. Right. Some of these are long questions where I'm going to make you talk around a lot of stuff. Some of these are going to be very quick questions. So, when growing up, music was a big part of your life and your learning experience of musicness. Was there any other passions you had hobbies or anything like that?
Yes. I was in theatre for quite a while. I was doing dramatics with Phaedos and Stage Door.
Yep.
Did a lot of shows on quite big stages from a very young age, thanks to my mum pushing me to sort of just be more of a performer. So that really, really helped for later on in life, which you don't realise that you're actually kind of putting building blocks on something
100%.
until you actually, have the house a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had that. I did ballet when I was little.
Oh, did you know?
Yeah, I did ballet.
Okay, this needs to happen.
Yeah, great. I think I must have been between I was 3 and 4, I think, yeah.
I will. I might have
Maybe
to.
even later than that, I can't remember.
I might have to ask you to help out with Oddball. We were rehearsing the other day. We're learning a new song that has a little.
Is it Swan Lake?
Yes.
Good.
No,
I'll be in the video.
Well, it's a. I'm not going to name the song because I think it's brilliant to sort of just throw it out there in the next gig.
Okay.
But the version that we took an inspiration from has a ballet section.
Good. Well, I will make sure that I'm there.
I will play.
Is it Kate Bush?
Yes.
It's Heathcliff. I would look so good in that. Anyway, so I did tap dancing as well for a little while. I liked drawing and painting and stuff. So it was always
always
arts stuff. Yeah, I think it's probably down to my mum. Being just she was always in amateur dramatic theatre, but she a pro in an amateur dramatic theatre setting.
Yeah.
Always just being part of writing groups and things like this. So I used to like writing stories as well. I used to I think that was probably down to mum asking me to help her learn lines for shows that she was doing when I was little, and so I'd just be kind of like quite obsessed with words.
Right.
Funnily now that lyrics are usually at the end of my writing process, so it'll be mostly all the other instrumentation of stuff would go first, and then I'll find out what the song does, and then words to describe the mood of it in afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the music dictates the lyrics rather than the other way around. But yeah, so I mean, I did have passions and things, but I never really wanted to be, anything of that in any industry other than the creative one. I remember maybe wanted to be in the Navy at one point, or a fireman or an astronaut or something like this. One of these kind of idealized jobs, and then you realize when you do have a sort of a creative. No, I'm going to rephrase that, because I actually do believe that creativity is just one of those things that happens in every industry. It's just you can be a creative engineer, you can be a creative accountant. It's just if you're just creative with the kind of skills that you've got, then you're to me you're doing a creative job. But I think it's just if you can't. I didn't want to be in an industry where I couldn't perform that in front of people and just constantly get affirmation or confirmation, just like, well done, you did a good job.
Yeah. No worries. Well, that kind of ruins one of my questions of, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
That's okay. So what would I be doing if I wasn't doing music? I think by now I would probably be doing something to do with like graphic design.
Yeah.
Or something like this, because I've always liked painting and well, not really. I don't sort of sit there and go, I'll paint in my spare time, and I'm not romanticising myself as like, when I'm not musicking, I'm painting the walls because I just can't stop my creative flow. No, I'm just literally, if I hadn't studied music, I probably would have thrown my time into studying visual arts.
Yeah. Which is something you'd still do nowadays.
Yeah, well, posters and things like this.
So
but,
have an eye for it, if I do say so myself.
Yes, it's good that I don't have an ear for graphic design, because it would just be useless then, wouldn't it?
That would kind of ruin. Oh yeah, that poster sounds great.
Yeah, I can make a good graphic EQ though.
Nice. Yeah, I see what you did there. Nice.
I hear what you did there.
Oh, that's changed my world a bit.
Going all around here.
Awesome.
Give me a shoot, Harley. Shoot me.
This is a long question because I'm really. We've touched on it, but I really want to know, how did you go around planning the Lockerbillies? You said that it was a planned thing that you spent a while sort of working on, so then you were ready to go when it came to
Well, Harley, this is actually detailed in the video History of the Lockerbillies. You can either have that History of the Lockerbillies Part 1 or the entire full thing that's on YouTube, which is talking about our Kickstarter campaign to start a new album. But it was very much before I met Murray. Well, I knew all these guys, but before I actually talked to Murray and James about it, I was a solo musician busking and trying to think of music that I could get people's attention with and songs that they know. And when there's music that's been around for like 60 years, like this has been, it's very much easier to grab people's attention.
Yeah.
When they know the lyrics, or they're like, oh, my dad used to listen to this track or anything like this. So yeah, that was kind of first step, was finding a style that I loved, because but that also people would connect with, because Milton and Steve Jones will say, like, before I started the band with them, Kismet, or whatever we were called back then, 00666
May offend.
Yeah, may offend. I wanted to play Chuck Berry. I wanted to be playing, like way more rock and roll, and until they corrupted me by making me listen to Metallica. But
bad people.
It's all right.
Good people.
That's all right. I'm good. I'm glad to be corrupted. But yeah, so it was nice sort of going back to my roots, and also it kind of brings other people back to their roots as well, because again, this is the roots of music. This stuff that we're doing, the roots of pop music anyway.
100%.
So yeah, this is quite an easy thing to do. But then I was literally just walking down to it was a cafe called Poppy's Diner. Which was a proper 50s looking place. It was all pink, and there was a big Elvis statue and lots of black and white pictures of JFK on the wall and stuff like this, in Newcastle. And I was just, let's just be during the days when I wasn't working on the ship, doing the cruise ship contract. I'd walk into town and I would just sit there at an internet cafe, because the internet on the boat was really bad.
Yeah.
So I would just be sitting there, like, coming up with design ideas and names, and literally I was like, I'll go down to the cafe today and I'll think of a name. And then while I was on the walk down to the cafe, I was like, JS and the Lockerbillies. Oh. Well, I don't know why I'm going here now, because I might as well just use that one. So yeah, then I literally just sent off the idea for sort of logo ideas. I came up with the vinyl looking thing, sent it off to somebody that did because I didn't have any graphic manipulation programs like this by that point, so I was just using Microsoft Word, and it just did not look good. No, did not look good. So I got somebody else to do that. But yeah, so that was kind of the formative process. Took about a month in March, and then I went away for April to do the boat again, and then by May I came back and I started busking it, and then started practicing with the band.
Sweet. Yeah. I remember you came into the shop, actually. It was probably the first time I'd seen you in 4 or 5 years. You'd been out of... you finished college before me, and then was doing all of this. And you said, I'm thinking about starting up a rockabilly Johnny Cash thing. Do you know any sort of double bass players? Or because you were looking specifically for a double bass player. This was before Murray played double bass. So how did the conversation go with Murray to sort of go, let's turn this bass vertically? Because obviously Murray's been a bass player for many years, but I don't think he played double bass before Lockerbillies.
No. It was as detailed in History of the Lockerbillies on YouTube.com.
I should really watch this.
I'm going to keep doing this. No.
Links in the comments below.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'll put the link in there. Basically, I got left in the lurch with a bunch of gigs, so I had to buy a double bass and learn it myself, because I was just, I didn't want to just throw Murray into the bullpen to just learn an instrument. We've got gigs coming up, sort it out. So I learnt it, and then I got Rich Webb to play guitar with me. So whilst I'm playing these gigs on double bass, Murray was using my double bass to sort of in between shows, just think, okay, so this is it. Let me just figure this out. And again, it would all be kind of self-taught YouTube thing, same thing that I did. Again, both our techniques were probably not technically what the exact thing should be for double bass, but it's really, really worked. And and we don't get fatigued anymore. Like our techniques have gotten much better from gigging, and actually have become more pro techniques, really, because if they were wrong, we'd be in pain all the time, because it is a lot of slapping and
it's a hard work to play double bass.
Popping.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's as you know, that it's it's that thing of the end of the show, your shoulders hurt and your fingers hurt and everything, because it's just such a physical instrument. But yeah, so we just really came around from the need to be gigging and getting paid for it. That we're just like, okay, we've got to get this instrument in the bag,
Nice one.
Know what I mean?
No, I mean, yeah, boy, yeah, fam. Well, without naming names, venues, or times or anything like this,
Because I've got a terrible memory.
what has been your best gig experience?
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna get the klaxon ready.
I don't know, man. I mean, I could say the G word.
Is that up there in the top one?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely, because it's just one of those things that it's not so much that just thinking. This is romanticized view out when on the outside looking into the music industry, that there's that one gig and then suddenly it's rocketed up from there. A gigging diary and a gigging history is just that. It's a history and a constant build up of knowledge and things. When I first started out the band, I thought, oh yeah, I've done music for sort of 13 odd years, so I'm a pro now. I'm a pro.
Yeah.
So every single gig I'm going to be doing is just going to be me at the top of my game. And then when you really, I'd never gigged as much as I do now before. So having constant, weekend after weekend, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shows, you sit there and think that was the best gig ever, and then you'll do the next weekend. That was the best gig ever, and it's you're getting on the rung of each ladder to do the better gigs. And there's people like Jaco Pastorius, like we said before. He started out low, and then built himself up, and was playing with Joni Mitchell and the Weather Report, and then went back down and started and ended up doing much smaller shows. He himself is still getting better as a musician, or still getting more experience, but it doesn't work as a sliding scale that's always going up.
Yeah.
You're not going to be doing, at the end of your career, you're not going to be suddenly doing the best gigs you've ever done.
No.
So I don't know. I'm ducking the question a bit here, and
That's right. The next question will be better.
Oh, great. I think oh god, Harley. I reckon if I had to put sort of one up there for being real importance, would be the Children in Need Spa Pavilion show.
Yeah.
Just because we were in front of the hometown crowd.
Yeah.
We'd done Glastonbury. He did it. The summer before that, so we were getting known locally as kind of like, they might actually be worth having a look.
Yeah.
So lots of people came along to that and donated a lot of money to charity. So the other bands and us felt like it wasn't just a gig; it was a coming together of lots of different people. And I think if you're sitting there going, okay, so what gig has benefited me the most? What gig has gotten me further in my career the most? I don't think that is ever going to be... there's not going to be one gig where you're suddenly going to be like, okay, that was the tipping point.
Yeah.
It's that having Ashton Jones and Hot Tramp with us and Kid Mojo, and just having the video of us all together and the photos that came out of it of all of us on stage together and celebrating and with the crowd, all together to do a good thing. That is kind of what we do it for, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do it for.
That's it. There was no sort of, no ego, just pure performance.
Yeah.
For something that's bigger than anyone.
Yeah. Bigger than a career. Well,
so, what's the worst gig experience you've had? Without naming, but tell us a story of something terrible that happened at a gig.
oh yeah, you said don't want to name names. That's what I did, didn't I?
Well, yeah, I guess you can name names in a positive sense.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about a terrible story, then we'll probably keep that to ourselves.
Well, we'd been...
If you want to name a person, just call him Craig.
Craig. I think the worst gigs always happen at the end of a big gig weekend. I don't know. There's because that's a sweeping statement. Because I've had some really good ones at the end when I've been absolutely shattered, and it's just worked really well. But I know that the times when it's dragged so much during the show. We'll only do 2.5 hour sets. We'll be, I'll be sitting there during like, why am I here? What is the point right now? I hate this. Not the job. It's that thing of like, I friggin' hate this gig right now.
Yeah.
There's no point in me doing this. There's not enough money in it. And I'm just hurting myself and my career.
Have you had any, or do you have any disaster stories of gigs that you've done that have just through no fault of yours or through fault of yours just been a disaster? Catastrophic failures of equipment or...
Nothing so far. Touching wood. This is actually plywood. This is cheap. IKEA furniture. We've never had a failure in the PA where it's just nothing's worked, and it's because of like a hardwired thing inside the sub or in the tops or in the desk, so that it's just not worked. We've had times where we've been like, oh, that channel doesn't work, but it's turned out to be a lead or something like this, which is it's great that happens. However, there have been times when it's just been utterly dead in a place, and I'll probably say that would just be the same thing, the same bad gig that I'd be going into. That we'd done 3 car shows that weekend across the sort of country. So we'd gone further north, and then we'd gone into slightly further south, and then into the top of East Anglia, and then came back on the same day for one gig that I was just absolutely knackered because I'd be doing all the driving and obviously setting up, what time we've got to be there, doing the promoting for it and stuff like this, and I'm just like, oh God, I've had to promote 4 shows. Usually when I'm doing more than one show in a weekend, it's more often than not that a percentage of those are private gigs. It's not sitting there going like, okay, it's not always the fact that we'll go from one public show straight to another one, because it's just hard to promote that when it's on one day. Things get confusing. But those were all public shows, so I had been promoting them. And then by the end of it, we got back to like a social club, Labour club, Conservative club kind of thing. And that was when I fell out of love with those gigs. I turned down those gigs now because it's more often than not that you will do these gigs where it is just a dusty old place. It's never renovated. Yeah, the drinks are cheap, but the members are just not interested. The owners of the place, with best intentions, are just like, let's do something to entertain the members, but the members do not care. That sucks for the owners of the venue, and it sucks for us, because you'll be sitting there, you will do this, the whole cliche of give everything you have to every single show, try and make it so that it's the best show that you can do every time, within the circumstances. So you'll do that, and then at the end of the song, there'll just be one bloke who's just staring into his pint, and we'll say and do nothing. He didn't tap his foot the whole way through, and then at the end of the show, he'll come up to you, and goes, "Oh, that was all right. That I didn't hate that." He's just like, "Oh God, why did I bother?" You're getting paid, but is it worth it?
I remember playing a Labour club one Sunday afternoon, and there were probably sort of 30, 40 people in there, all of them sitting down at a direct right angle to us, watching the football on the other side of the room. And it was just like,
ow.
Why'd you put us on, then put the football on?
Yeah.
That, I think there's a real contradiction between
sports bar and a music bar.
Yeah. And there are places that do it well. Isaac's in town.
Because they've got lots of different rooms.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can piss on a footballer's face if you really want, because they've got the TV screen in the urinals.
Right, okay. Okay, I was just thinking, wow, I've never wanted to do that, but now I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah. No, I have done that, and it's always kind of made it really awkward because I'm sitting,
Someone's yeah.
Yeah, like having to pee in a urinal when somebody's right next to you is difficult enough as it is, and especially when somebody's staring right at you. With a sweaty face and spitting on the ground and just swearing at the ref or something like that. It's even more. It's like, oh god, he's gonna bite it off.
Yeah, no, that's fun. Anyway, yeah, like yesterday, there are places that do it right, but then there are other places that will put on a live band and then go, oh, do you mind starting a little bit later because there's football on? And you're like,
oh, come on, man.
I mean,
you knew about this.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't know about it, then that's your problem.
That's it.
You didn't plan this.
But that's one of my. And now my last question is a little bit of a. I think that's.
Why doesn't your willy work?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 2 questions. The last 2 questions. A little bit. What is?
Yes.
Your favourite social media site, old or new?
Oh goodness.
If you could bring back MySpace, would you?
Yeah. No, I mean, MySpace just had such a better way of actually structuring your page and making it like a mini website where other people would be on. And yeah, I do hate Facebook for that reason, that it did kill MySpace, because I think it was better for bands. It was better for bands. MySpace was totally better for bands. The music players were easy to find. You could make music play automatically as soon as you come in on the page, instead of there just being a cover photo that as soon as you scroll past it's gone or whatever.
Yeah.
I do, that does kind of annoy me sometimes when I'm going somewhere and it's just music. I'll go onto a website and the music will just start playing.
Yeah, I hate that.
And I'm just like, oh, where's the pause button? But that is still a good tool to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, the most used social media platform that I have is Facebook. It's not my favourite way of getting in touch with people, but it is the most broad. It's the one that you can have photos, videos, and big text. You can have. I am notorious for not doing long statuses. I don't do things where people have to, I try to make it so that every status that I have that is promoting something is never a see more button.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens obviously, but if there is a see more bit, most of the time, there's not that much below that.
Yeah.
Whereas when you see some people that will just put absolute essays on this thing, that's not me. No, thank you.
Nah.
That's why I like Instagram and Twitter, for just sitting there going concise, to the point. Get it out there, get it done, because people know what you're tweeting about.
Yeah.
You don't have to be sitting there giving it a whole rigmarole like, this is important to me because ever since I was a 3-year-old, I always wanted to do music, and then I ended up coming to do this show, and that went on to doing this show, and you're just shut up, get to the point. What are you trying to say right now?
Yeah,
get it out.
You can get away with one of those every now and then, but they don't need to be every post. I'm probably guilty of that. I probably write too much in my posts. So
I don't see you doing that. There are some people that I know. There are 2-3 people that I can think of that are on my page that do that regularly. I just don't read them, but they're not making statuses for me, are they? They're doing it for themselves, so I guess they don't care.
That's it. I don't know about you. I personally believe if I wasn't promoting my music, I probably wouldn't have Facebook.
Yeah.
I feel the main reason why I use Facebook is to promote my shows, promote my music, and to keep in touch with people that I need to for furthering my musical endeavours. But I'd probably try and stay off social media as much as possible if I didn't have something to sell to people. Yeah.
No, that's very fair. I think Murray and I were talking about this in the car quite a while back, and we were talking about people. Depression has actually risen over the past couple of years.
Oh, 100%.
Hopefully not 100%.
No, I've noticed I say 100% way too much.
But I believe that social media has been a big part of that. But it's more the fact of this guy that Murray and I created was Facebook Guy. He's the person who, I think I've talked about this on the show before, actually.
I'm not sure if you have.
Facebook Guy goes to the best parties. Facebook Guy has a kid. Facebook Guy is married and happy. Facebook Guy has a house. Facebook Guy gets to take all the crazy drugs and have no effect and has no hangovers. Facebook Guy, has a house in the Bahamas. And Facebook Guy, goes skiing and skydiving and all these things. Facebook Guy isn't real. Facebook Guy is just a culmination of all the things you see on your news feed that you think everybody else is doing something more than you are.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook Guy is just a culmination of all the great things that you see people doing that are, and you're sitting there going, why aren't I doing that? I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing enough.
I think I'm guilty of going, seeing posts of, friends of mine doing massive big gigs or doing TV shows. Same. And going, why aren't I doing that?
Why am I doing that?
Why couldn't I get that opportunity?
Something's wrong with me.
Yeah,
it gives you an inferiority complex.
Yeah,
definitely gives you an inferiority complex. And and I really believe that it's that thing that sometimes you are Facebook Guy. You are a part of that because you'll be posting up on Facebook going or anything. It could be Instagram Guy, whatever. You'll be posting up about something really cool you're doing, and somebody else will be watching that going, my life sucks.
I very rarely post personal things on Facebook. Almost everything I do is shared off my musician page, or of sharing music stuff, promoting a show or anything like that. Very rarely do I post personal stuff about me and my girlfriend or whatever. But I will occasionally post something if we go on holiday or have an amazing time somewhere or something good happens to us.
And then you're Facebook Guy. Then you're Facebook Guy.
I'm part of that problem.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not me saying, oh, don't overpost something nice, because people don't post about. If they do post about the bad stuff on Facebook, often I get repulsed by it.
Yeah.
Often if somebody goes, oh God, I've had a horrible day and I feel like I've got a cold and then I'm depressed and stuff like this. A lot of the time I'm looking at it just going like, please don't put that up online, because you're going to look back on that. Unless if people have, especially if people haven't clicked on it and they haven't liked it, they haven't commented saying, "Oh, get better," you'll just look at this lump of a status that you've just gone out and bared your soul, and you'll see no likes and comments, and you will take that to mean that nobody cares.
No,
and that is damaging. That is damaging to a person.
I completely agree that
because that doesn't mean that nobody cares. Like we're too much focus on the currency of likes and comments and reach of a post, whereas people do care about you, and this is not a gauge for.
No, because it's also like, I mean, if someone I know is having a hard time and they post something on Facebook, if it's someone I know well enough that I feel I should say something to them, I'll contact them personally.
Yeah.
It's
too much posturing, isn't it? When you're just on Facebook, it's like, oh, I care about your love anytime, I'll be around. And then, are they around whenever you need them? No, they're not. Of course, they can't be around whenever you need them. So it's falsifying the relationship between you.
I do try and hold off watching the news as well. I find that is a very upsetting medium to watch, and I think sometimes I watch the news and I'm not halfway through. I'm like,
I'm afraid of the future.
I was like, there's nothing good going on in the world at the moment.
But again, it's kind of the paradox there, isn't it? You'll have everything good that you're doing will go up on Facebook, everything bad that's happening will go on the news, and it is kind of like those extremes, isn't it?
But if you're looking at the good things and feeling bad, and we're looking at the bad things that's feeling bad, there's no wonder that there is problems.
Such dichotomy going on.
100%. Yeah, so I think we've definitely sort of shamed social media and everything. I'm very hungry.
Shame.
Shame. So social media is a terrible thing. So make sure to tune in to our live Facebook Live on New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, mate. Yeah, crikey. Wait, so do you have one? Let's do this. A one sentence hope for 2018.
Oh. Do you have one? I'm going to think about this.
Deflected.
Because I need to.
Okay, let's keep this down to what we want to do. I hope that my album comes out and it connects with people, and it helps both of us, and the audience and myself.
Yeah. I mean, this is a little bit selfish. I hope Chart Attack continues on the trajectory that it's going on at the moment.
Good.
We've only done a handful of gigs, but we've had a lot of very promising reviews, a lot of very supportive comments from friends, from fans, and industry personnel as well. So we're really hopeful for that to keep going.
Keep it going. Keep the trajectory going. All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll wrap it up there. I think that about does it, doesn't it, mate?
It does. That's it. Yeah.
That about does it. Yeah. Please subscribe. Please go up on the Podbean. Please go up on iTunes. Like the Facebook page and be ready for us on New Year's Day between 2 and 3.
Yep.
For our Facebook Live event.
We might even go over an hour.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
You're wonderful. High five, Harley. Yeah. Oh, I didn't miss. That's so good.
Oh, good show. Let's go to bed and be very unwell. Maybe together. I don't know.
Great. Christmas.
It's the Harley and Josh show on iRadio.